Towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful leg out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Shema Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful leg, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Shema Shah. I just want to go into a quick morning exhortation, all right, dealing with how, within this faith, it's important that we constantly mature, that we have to grow up in faith and understanding, because we all came into this thing, for the most part with a westernized mind frame, a westernized, way of thinking, and that's why scriptures, say that we have to be born again, in the spirit, born again in understanding, becoming as a child, humbling down as a child. And when we do that, like the scriptures say, we desire the sincere milk, learning that we're Israelites, learning the names of our power, learning about who our enemy is. We learn the milk, learning about the tribes, and from there, we constantly are fed, until we are pretty much spiritually, adults. You see, we're growing into spiritual adults. Now we understand why we're here and what the Lord is doing, and that increases our faith because we can see, what the Lord is doing. The scriptures always talk about a renewed way of thinking, and that's why when you go to 1 Corinthians 13 and 11, it says, when I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child. Yeah, and we was all children, and we was all newborns in the faith, so we understood as newborns. We came into the ministry, like I say, fresh, out of Western culture. We thought, as men, we thought, clout, and women, we thought money and hoes was it, and clout, But what happens, man, when you keep reading, it says, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. Yeah, so when we first come into the ministry, you still have, the mindset of this world with just the acknowledgement that we're Israelites. Because coming into the ministry, you think that, I say a lot of women, you learn you can have multiple women. You just think of the pleasure aspect of it. You see, which that pleasure was created as an incentive, to be fruitful and multiply. And there's nothing wrong with the pleasure, but, and it's just an example, there's something that we grow into understanding that is more than that. Like I say, in this world, we went from, wanting money and clothes, FRN notes and clothes and hoes. Now, we want wives and resources. You see, we want wives and resources because going back to thinking as a child, even, money, this man's money is not real money. You see, Jake is still infatuated by FRN notes, but that's not real money. You see? At the end of the day, the people that's in power, they can change what they accept as currency, and then that money is useless. So that's really not money. So we come to understanding that, no, we need wives and resources for nation building. Pleasure come with it, but we need wives, to reproduce ourselves, to reproduce the nation, to grow the nation, and we need resources to nurture the nation. You see? That's thinking, as a spiritual adult. And as a woman, women come up thinking that it's all about, doing them, being liberated, living their best life. Everything they do is centered around some type of pleasure for them. And the scriptures say, she that living in pleasure is dead while she living. You see? A woman think it's all about, you say, niggas with money, you know, having a rotation of niggas with money. Why? So they can sponsor, all right, this social media, you know, Instagram lifestyle, glamour lifestyle, you know? But then what happened, man? You sisters start believing, and now you understand, like, no, I need to be a wife to a man of the Lord to help forward his house, which is going to forward the glory of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. I need to be in order. I got a role to play on the earth. And see, that's one of the things, you know, that we come back to as men and women, is understanding our role and our responsibility in the earth. All right, as men are supposed to rule according to the standard of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and the women in subjection under those men, raising up the household in that order, you know, and that creates another generation that's going to do the same thing, you know. But it starts with the man and woman understanding their responsibility, and that's one of the main things that we learn, and that's what Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is doing, all right, with the elect men and women, you know. Because see, pleasure, nothing wrong with pleasure, you know. Matter of fact, I get it. You know, I get it in the scriptures. All right. But it says, I'll finish this real quick. It said, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. Yeah, so you put away that childish mindset. You know, woman checking your phone and all this stupid shit. All right, it's very childish, man. You know, men having just blasting and everything. You know, now you got 2-3 baby mamas that ain't shit. You know, it's childish, man. You know, but we mature from that. Now, just real quick, I close out on this Psalms. All right, 16 and 11. It says, thou wilt show me the path of life, and thy presence is fullness of joy. At thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore. Yeah, so the pleasure, there's nothing wrong with drinking good wine, eating good food, you know, enjoying the earth. You know, like I say, you don't think we're gonna have, you know, cruises and things in the kingdom, man? You know, you get to cruise, you know, the earth, especially that I'm always talking about, you know, that Mediterranean coastline, man. You're going to see, you know, all the brothers and sisters, you know, palaces on that coastline. You get to cruise and chill, you know. Ain't nothing wrong with pleasure. It's just, we was childish. Esau society teach you to be childish with pleasure, man. You know, that's why you get threesomes and orgies and, you know, all type of, you know, just abominations. No, there's a purpose for that pleasure. You see, and we've grown into it, and we're growing into it, you know, constantly learning. You see? So I just wanted to put that out there. Lord will, you brothers, you know, your few sisters edified. Till next time I say shalom.